Before moving on, actually, let's just make sure that we have some nice subdivision going on, because we have a few subdivisions along this axis, but we don't have anything happening here or here. Let's see how we can actually insert that that division automatically. So we don't need this merge. This is done. Now we're going to be doing that here before the boolean. We don't really need to affect the boolean. So before the boolean, we're going to just make sure that we had division here and on the other side as well. The clip operator, if we create a clip, the clip operator actually works on different ways. So let's say the direction, we want to apply a loop along this axis. In that case, we would want to use the direction to be 0, 1. Okay, it's along that axis. And one of the options that we have here is all primitives. Let's keep all primitives. Now we just want to add the same thing, but on this axis. Okay, we want to cut it here. So it would be the same thing. We would right click, clip, and the direction is Y. But the reason why we don't see anything, let's switch this to all primitives, is because if we hit enter, you'll notice that the origin of this plane is 0, 0, 0, and it's not cutting anything because our object is up here. So how can we find out exactly the midpoint of our object on the y-axis? It's really easy to do. We're going to be using an expression, and we're going to be using some of these more and more regularly as we go along, but this is going to be a nice introduction. So what we actually want is the centroid of our object, and in this case we don't even need all the coordinates, because actually the centroid of our object is going to be 0 in x. Okay, it's going to be around 0 in x. It's going to be 0 in z. We just don't know the coordinate for the y because our object is not at the origin. So the way we do that is here at the origin, on the y coordinate, which is the one that we want to calculate, we'll just use the expression centroid. And we open parentheses, and we have to declare two things. First, whose centroid do we want to calculate? And in this case, we want to calculate the centroid of whatever's coming in. And this is input, and we can reference this input. It's input 0 actually. So we can reference this input by a number by just saying input 0. And after, you actually have a small explanation here of the dimensions that you can grab. We can grab the dimension of x, the coordinate y, or the coordinate z. So in this case, we want d underscore y. Let's type that, d underscore y. Close parentheses, hit enter, and it automatically calculates the centroid of our object. Remember, if this is the expression, if we want to see the value that's giving us back, that's returning, we can just left click on the origin, on the name of the parameter, and it's giving us this value. So extremely accurate and extremely easy to set up. And this is how we add. I'm gonna hit escape here, and this is how easy it was for us to add a split here in the middle, a loop in here in the middle, and a loop along this direction. And now we have the geometry, the topology of our geometry is a bit better, has a bit better balance. Having done that, we can just replace the input of the boolean to include these two clips, and we get this result. So the overall shape with nice topology, and applying a boolean to get that extra detail. Shift W to look at the results. Really nice. Now on the next lesson, we're going to be adding the cylindrical detail here on top.